Hey, this is Ed from Nerd&Tech. This is just going to be a quick rant video for Uber. If you've already seen the Uber video that I've made, you know what I'll be talking about. If you haven't seen the Uber video, I'm going to leave a link in the description just so you guys can take a look and see what I'm talking about right here. Basically, this is a rant video because I am an Uber driver. I was also a Lyft driver at one time, and Uber cut their prices back in August 25th, I believe, from $1.30 per mile down to $1.10 per mile. Now, at the $1.30 per mile mark, a lot of drivers were already complaining. They were saying it's not as profitable as it used to be. And in my last video, I stated that Uber at one time was charging $2 per mile. However, after researching a little bit more, I found out when they first started, they were charging $2.50 per mile for Uber X. So that's a little correction on the last video I made. The rant is due to Uber's view of the business. When the drivers basically complained about how much they're making, Uber executives stated that due to the lower prices, they should expect even more customers to show up, meaning that the Uber driver is not, being bored and having nothing to do. Now, that is true. I have seen an increase in clientele and the amount of calls I'm receiving. However, I'm going to give you one example. On Sundays, I used to make about $100. That's after you take out Uber's expenses and gas. I used to make $100 in about 5 hours of time. And that was awesome. I loved it. I only did like maybe 8 or 9 trips. All of them were a good distance. And because it's Sunday, there's no traffic on the street, so everywhere is easy to go to. This last Sunday when I worked, I realized that I still made that 100. However, instead of it only taking 5 hours, it took me almost 7 hours to make that 100. And instead of doing 7 or 8 customers, I actually did about 13, 14 customers. Now, yes, I did receive a lot more clientele on that Sunday, but my payout in the end is still the same because the prices just didn't add up as well as they used to. For another great example I'm going to give you is on a normal day, if I'm in West Hollywood and I receive a phone call, I usually drive to the customer who's about a half mile away. If the customer asks me to take them to LAX, the price for that trip is about $26, $28, around that area. Now it's as low as $18, and that's just sad because after I take out Uber's cut, gas expenses, and taxes I eventually have to pay on that trip, I'm only receiving about $8. That's an insult. $8 to drive that far and drop off a customer, and that's not even counting that I have to drive a mile to pick up this customer. Before, we used to have a lot more Uber drivers in Los Angeles. So if you receive a call, your customer is usually within a half-mile distance. Now, due to the decrease of Uber drivers, customers can be as far as 2 miles away, which means many times I've had to get on the freeway just to go pick up my customer. And that's not good. That's actually pretty sad because I'm wasting a lot more gas in that time frame to go pick up a customer, ask them, excuse me, ma'am or sir, where are you headed to? And it becomes very disappointing when you find out the distance they're headed to is very minimal, which means I'm only making $5 on that trip. Well, I just spent $3 on gas to get to you, and the distance you're going is only 5 miles. $5 worth. That's just sad. And it's very discouraging for the drivers. A lot of drivers have quit recently. A lot of drivers have quit. And I believe even more drivers will quit. And especially in the winter when business is very slow in the transportation business, I will not be surprised if Uber drops their rates again. Because Uber in San Francisco isn't doing as well as Lyft is. Lyft is actually more dominant in San Francisco. However, in Los Angeles, most people have never heard of Lyft. Majority of people take Uber. So what does that mean? At the time when they were charging $1.40, $1.50, that area, the drivers always had clientele coming in. I mean, you would sometimes have to wait maybe 15, 20 minutes, but you always had a customer giving you a call, and you knew by going to that customer, you knew you were going to make $8 or $9 off that one customer, if not even more, you know? But now, yeah, we're not really bored anymore, where we've got calls coming in back to back. However, all these calls are very low in the price range, and given that you're driving a distance to pick them up, it's very discouraging. So I'm just making this video just to notify all the Uber customers why you no longer can get a Uber car in less than 5 minutes, why it's taking you a bit longer these days, and also why a lot of Uber drivers have recently quit. Also, this video is for anybody who's deciding to go into Uber. I would not recommend it at this area. Now, I am going to make a future video, which is going to be professional. It's not going to be a webcam of me talking. But I'm going to make a future video stating some reasons why you might still want to join Uber and why it might be profitable in the future. However, it won't be right now. So I hope this video really helped you out. Click like and subscribe. It really helps me out over as well. And thank you for watching. Hopefully I see you guys on the next video. Thank you.